Hello guys, welcome back to LeetCode. So in our SQL series of solving LeetCode questions, I'm back with another brand new question, confirmation rate. Okay, so before starting with the question, if you haven't subscribed LeetCode or check the series and do subscribe LeetCode. So in this question, this is a medium level question and we have two tables. Fine. So while solving this question and performing the query, you will come across with various new terms and functions in SQL. Okay, so don't worry if you are a complete beginner or you have some knowledge of SQL, because we will cover everything in detail. This table is named as signups and this table is named as confirmations. Fine. So this table contains two columns, user ID and timestamp. This table contains user ID, timestamp and action. Okay, so let's understand this table. So your user ID is the column of unique value for this table. Each row contains information about the sign up time for the user with user ID. Okay, so this table contains user ID and their timestamp when they signed up in this particular website or app per se. Okay, and in this table, confirmation table, we have user ID, we have timestamp and we have an action column which has an enum value. That is, it will give us only two results, either true or either false. So user ID and timestamp is the primary key. This is an enum category of the type confirmed or timeout. So it has only two values, confirmed or timeout. Okay, each row of this table indicates that the user with the user ID requested a confirmation message at the timestamp and that confirmation message was either confirmed or expired. Okay, this table indicates that whenever that user with that particular user ID might have requested if his or her sign up has confirmed or not. So at that particular timestamp or particular time, the website or the app has denoted or said that it has been confirmed or timeout. Okay, so the confirmation rate here is a problem. The confirmation rate of a user is the number of confirmed messages divided by the total number of requested confirmations. So the confirmation rate of a user that did not request any confirmation is 0. Round the confirmation rate to 2 decimal places. So we have to calculate the confirmation rate. What is a confirmation rate? Confirmation rate is the number of confirmed messages divided by the total number of requested confirmation messages. Okay, so let's check out this example. We have this table sign up and we have this table confirmations. This table sign up has 4 user IDs and here we have our confirmation. So this user ID, 3 types of action, timeout. Okay, that user ID 3 requested his or her confirmation and both the time he was returned with a timeout message or action. Okay, user ID 7, as you can check over here, that user requested for about 3 times and all the 3 times he got a confirmed message. Okay, so our output is this. Okay, here it is the calculated confirmation rate. So for user ID 6, the confirmation rate is 0 and user ID 6 in this table. Okay, there is no action requested for user ID 6. Okay, for user ID 3, it is again 0 because there is no confirmed message for user ID 3. For user ID 7, as we saw, the user ID 7 requested 3 times and all the time when that user requested, he got a confirmed message. So the confirmed message he received divided by the total number of requests he gave, it was equal and 3 by 3. Okay, so it got 1. Okay, so the confirmation rate is 1. User ID 2 requested 2 times and one time that user got confirmed message and the second time that user was timeout. So it is 0.50. Okay, so this is how we have to calculate our confirmation rate. Below is explanation written. You can read this. All what I have explained right now is only written over there. Okay, so let's start with the query. First, if you see what we require here, we require here two columns for our output table. First is select. So first we will select our user ID. Okay, so user ID from which table? From our sign up table. Okay, so signups.user ID, and next thing is we want a confirmation rate column which we have to create because we have to calculate confirmation. Okay, so before creating confirmation column, let's first complete the other necessary things. That is, the second thing is we have to join these two tables, as it is clearly visible that we have to join these two tables to get our required solution. Okay, so from signups okay, left join confirmation. Fine. On what basis? On what basis we are confirming? On the basis of column user ID. Okay, because user ID and timestamp both are equal, but here we will take user ID. Okay, so on signup.user ID is equal to confirmations dot user ID. Okay, so here we have created a join, and we have to do a group by, because we have to group the results of user ID to calculate the confirmation rate for each user. Okay, since if you see in this confirmation table, user ID 3 has data in 2 different rows, user ID 7 has data in 3 different rows, so we have to group them up in a single row. So for that we use a group by clause. Say sign up, we have to group what? We have to group user ID. As you can see in this output table, user ID 6 is only visible in one row. Okay, user ID is 3, it is only visible in one row, it is not visible in 2 to 3 rows. Okay, so this is what group by clause do. Okay, signups dot. Okay, so now we have to calculate a confirmation rate. So here is the twist of whole query. This, if you check the question, the number of confirmed messages divided by the total number of requested confirmation messages. Okay, so for this we have to calculate the sum. Fine, let's calculate the sum. So now here, before calculating sum, here as you see, this ID 2 got 2 action messages, that is confirmed and timeout. Okay, so there may be cases for any ID that ID got 2 types of action. Either his request was confirmed or his request was timeout. Okay, so in the SQL we have this facility, like in our other programming languages we use if condition. Okay, if this happens, do this, otherwise else do this. Okay, so similarly SQL also gives us a facility to perform this if else kind of condition on our query. Okay, but it is totally different over here. The syntax, the mechanism is different. How it is different, let's write it over here. So I'll write it in this column to make it more visible. First is we have to create sum of user ID okay, sum of confirmed messages divided by the total action divided by the total number of action that ID requested. Okay, so sum. Okay, now that ID might get two types of action, either confirmed or timeout. So we use a case keyword when, okay, case when, suppose C, or we call it confirmation. I'm not using any other type of instance or alias over here to make it more clear which table we are calling out and which column from which table we are using. Okay, so confirmation dot action is equal to confirmed. Okay, if this is the case when confirmation dot action is equal to confirmed, then 1 else 0 and end it. Okay, so what we did over here is case. First let's understand the whole sentence letter by letter, keyword by keyword. So the case keyword starts the conditional logic. Okay, this will tell the SQL engine that now the coming code will be having a condition thing. Okay, conditional thing. Fine, so you have to think according to it. Now when, this when is a keyword that specifies a condition to check. Okay, like in if and else. If we do if else condition, if this, okay, so inside that bracket we have a condition. So case when, so when this, then keyword specifies the result to return. Okay, which result we have to return. If this condition is true, then return this. If it is not true, then return this. This is how this case condition works in SQL. Okay, this end keyword is quite important because it concludes our case statement. Fine, so this is how we will check whether the user got a confirmed message or a timeout message, because it is important. Fine, if the user got confirmed message, it will count it as 1. Okay, so if like this user 7 got confirmed message 3 times, so 1 plus 1 plus 1 3. Okay, this user 3 timeout message 2 times. Okay, so 0 plus 0, because user ID, when this user ID 3 will go inside this case statement, okay, the case statement will detect that this user has not got any confirmed message. Fine, so it will return 0. So how many times it will return 0? 2 times. Okay, so 0 plus 0 is 0, and 0 divided by user ID 3 has 2 timeout actions, so it will give us 0 plus 0. Fine, so this is how this case statement will work. Okay, we calculated the sum. Fine, now next. Fine, so to divide we use this operator count. Obviously we have to calculate the total number of count that user got. Okay, dot user like I'm using the name of the table as it is, but for your convenience, if you find it convenient to use aliases or some similar names for the table, so you can use that as well. Okay, so here we calculated the count and we divided it. The next thing is the result we get should be at 2 decimal places. Okay, now before that, if you see, if we get like for user ID 3 we got timeout messages 2 times. Okay, if you calculate over here, let's check. if user ID 3 got timeout messages 2 times, so when this conditional statement will run, so what it will do is it will get 0 first time and it will get 0 second time. Okay, so which will result to 0. And the total number of count that user has requested the action is 2. Okay, as you can see, the action has 2 rows for this user ID. So it will be divided by 2. Now 0 by 2 is nothing. Okay, it will give us null. Okay, so to avoid this null, because we cannot calculate 0 by 2, so it will give us null. Okay, but in our desired result, if you see this output, here we do not have null. We instead we got 0.00 as our desired value. Every time for every user ID, even for 6 we got 0.0. So how is this possible? We use coalesces. Okay, now what is this new term? So coalesces is a type of function. Let me write it. Okay, coalesce is a function in SQL which returns the nearest null value. Okay, non-null value. Okay, the first non-null value in our whole expression. So coalesce has a function. Coalesce is the function in SQL which returns the first non-null value in our whole expression. Okay, the list whichever it is connected to. Okay, so in our query, if the user has no confirmation request, which will obviously return us null. So instead of returning null, this coalesce function will return 0 to it. Okay, so how we will use? So this is all our calculated confirmation rate. Okay, so we will use coalesce with the first parameter as a confirmation rate and the second parameter will be 0. So out of all the expression, it will return us the first non-null value, that is it will return us 0. Okay, now as said in the question, it should be, the result should be of 2 decimal places. Okay, so we will round it up to 2 decimal places. Okay, so here we have done with our query. We are done with our query. Okay, let's run it and check if it is correct or not. So our answer is accepted. Okay, one thing you have to add is you have to write the column which we have to include. So after calculating all the confirmation rate, as confirmation rate, you have to include the column name. Okay, so we got our expected output. You can solve this question, same question in your LeetCode, and let me know in comment section if it is helping. Share it with your friends. Thank you. Happy coding.